record. So if you Google ChatGPT, usually the first website that pops up is this one that's openai.com. If you click on it, you'll see a button for try ChatGPT. And there's a few different ways to log in. I'm already logged in with my Google account. But if you don't have a Google account, you can create an account through ChatGPT. But essentially, once you log in, it takes you to this very simple prompt. If you look at the bottom, there's a little text box. And for background, I think it was in 2007, so for about 5 years now, this company called OpenAI has been training artificial intelligence on human language. So for the past 5 years, they have been feeding artificial intelligence millions and billions of lines of text and words from websites, books, like you name it. There's billions of words have gone into creating this artificial intelligence system to get it to a point where it can predict what you want it to say. It can generate text based upon a prompt. So you can ask it a simple question like, is the sky blue? If you hit enter, it will tell you, yes, under normal circumstances, the sky appears blue during the daytime, etc. Can everyone see the text? Okay.
Yes.
And I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? Like if you Google, is the sky blue, you're going to get 100 websites. They're going to be filled with ads and gobbledygook, and it's going to, take you forever to filter through it. But you could do interesting things with this. You can ask it like, why is the sky blue? And it'll tell you, why the sky is blue, because of this principle known as Rayleigh scattering, and it'll kind of go into the details about why the sky is blue. Now, that's all good, but I have like a young daughter at the house, so I could also say, why is the sky blue? Explain it to me like I was 5 years old. And ChatGPT is smart enough to know, oh, like, okay.
Oh, wow.
They want to explain as a 5-year-old, so I'm going to break this down. So, Maria, with her daughter Lenore, who is 7, I'm sure she gets asked lots of questions. Why this? Why that? Why that? Right? So if she wants, she can just pull up her phone. And you could get this on your phone. It's just a website, and you could say, "Oh, like I don't know why. Why is this? Why that?" So, lots of different things you could do, right? Now, a few caveats. ChatGPT is new. It's only been out for about 2 months now. Lots of people are using it. It's a free service. The website frequently crashes. It frequently is slow. So if it crashes during this training session, that would not be uncommon. I have some screen recordings that I can show you, but we're going to try to, hopefully it stays stable for us. On the left-hand side, these are all the different conversations that I've had with ChatGPT. And so ChatGPT has a little bit of a memory. So, in this conversation that we're having, it somewhat remembers that I asked it about the sky. It somewhat remembers that I asked it that it's, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. So, going forward, if I ask it something different, it will kind of remember that we were talking about the sky and be more likely to bring up the sky in further conversation. And maybe we'll see a little bit out of that later, right? But since I want to kind of really talk about how you can use this for the law firm, we don't really care about the sky being blue. So instead of continuing this chat, I'm going to create a new chat to basically reset the memory and start from scratch. And so I could ask it something like, if I was to give chat GPT training for an immigration law firm, what would be a good agenda? And, it's churning, it's thinking, again, like it can be slow at times, but in a few seconds, it should start writing out an agenda for training. And it's slow right now. This is, relatively slow. Usually like in the evenings, it's incredibly faster. But basically it can create a training agenda for this session, right? So as that's kind of typing that out, you guys, I know you guys do training on a regular basis for different things, right? You can easily use this to develop training. Same with policies and procedures. If you, so I'm going to stop generating this one now. I know Maria and Syra have recently working on a parental leave policy. So, I could easily ask ChatGPT, write a parental leave policy for Solano Law Firm. And, we have disability insurance. So I could say include something about disability insurance, hit enter. Your prompts don't have to be spell check. You can have errors in your spell check, and ChatGPT will usually recognize the what you're trying to say. And all of a sudden you have a policy and procedure for parental leave, right? And now it may not be perfect. It may not be exactly like what you want it to be, but at least it's a starting point. At least it's kind of, it's something that you can put in a Word document and edit and kind of say, oh, we don't want 12 weeks, we want 9 weeks, we want, notice, this is how we want to give notice, etc. But it's a great kind of start for lots of the writing that you do, right? Now there's limitations on how much text you can put in and how much text it spits out. So, usually you can put in probably 1,000 words or so. I don't know exactly what the limit is. And usually it will spit out, roughly about this length. So, roughly if this was an essay, maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs worth of content. But you could also say this is a parental leave policy. I can copy it and I could say, send an email to the law firm team announcing this parental leave policy and summarizing it. Now I'll just paste the whole entire parental leave policy underneath there. And so, so now I've asked it to write an email summarizing this, and now you can see the email that ChatGPT is writing for me, summarizing this lengthy, policy and procedure. I'll take a pause there. Any questions so far?
I am in awe and amazement and so incredibly happy right now. Just this basic stuff, my gosh.
I mean, think about how much time we spend writing emails. I don't know about you guys, but that's most of my job is writing emails when in the Army. So for those of you, I should say first off, I should introduce myself because I haven't chatted with many of you before. But I'm Robert Solano. I am the husband of Syra Solano. We've been married for, I think, 5 or 6 years. We've been together since, I think we started dating when the law firm was 2 years old. So, I've seen the law firm grow a good amount over the past decade. And I also work with the leadership team pretty regularly. So Maria, Tanya, Emily Rose, I lead our quarterly workshops with them, and also do some coaching with other people on the team as well. So even though I don't work,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Finish your introduction. That was on me. Sorry.
No. I guess that's the end of my introduction. I'm just saying, I guess in summary, I would just summarize it in that I am very familiar with the law firm, even though I'm not in the business every day. I'm kind of familiar with the team and how you guys have been, and I'm always in awe with how hard everyone works on the team to help immigrants build a better future. So I really appreciate the time to chat with everyone today. But Tanya, what were you going to say?
Oh, just a quick question, but you had previous to the introduction, you asked if there are questions. So you generate this phenomenal email, which again is just amazing. How do we send it?
So you copy and paste it. So you just,
okay, it's copy and paste. Okay.
Yeah, you just scroll up to the top, highlight it, hit, I guess, Windows C or Control C, depending on what system you're on. And then you can just paste it over. And
then make any adjustments, tweaks or whatever. Okay. This alone is phenomenal.
Yeah. So, okay, that's internal, but let's start a new chat. Sometimes we make mistakes as a team, right? So sometimes we have to charge clients more money or screw up their case. So you can say, write a text message explaining to a client, why we screwed up their case, apologize profusely or a lot, say we are very sorry. Right?
Robert, sorry to interrupt. I think there's a few people in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Am I the only one that can admit?
I think so.
Okay, I'll try to keep that up and make sure we keep them. So I think we just had about four people join. Sorry, I didn't realize that I was still admitting people. So just to recap so far, so we're doing some training today on ChatGPT and kind of, exploring ways that it can help you in your day-to-day business. So the website is, if you just Google ChatGPT, you'll get to this website, which is chat.openai.com. You log in with Google or create an account, and then there's a prompt down at the bottom where you can enter stuff. So in this scenario, we screw up a client's case, we feel really bad. We're not sure what to say to them. And we asked ChatGPT to kind of help us draft some language to apologize to this client for screwing up their case. And you could say, okay, well, instead of an email, I just want to send them a text. So, I could say condense this to a text message. And if I paste that message, down below, now it will condense that down to like a shorter text message, right? And it's so, this would take me, probably 20 minutes before to like think through what I was going to say to a client. And now you can do it in a matter of seconds. Now, I just want to reiterate though, ChatGPT makes mistakes. So if you ask it, what legal precedences, cover a U visa for someone in a car accident. And I just made that up, right? But it will make up legal precedents. Like it will make up shit that is not factually correct, right? Again, because it's just kind of thinking how people talk. And so it may say, oh yeah, in US versus Garcia, the judge determined this. If it ever tells you something like that, you kind of need to say, okay, I'm not 100% sure that that's right. You know, in this case, it is saying, it's talking about this Victim of Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000. That may or may not be a real thing. You should do your own research to figure out if this VTVPA of 2000 is an actual thing or not. But sometimes it may be, and, you know, kind of help you understand something a little bit better. You know, and so you could ask it, if you're a new paralegal that doesn't know anything about immigration at all, you could just say, hey, what the heck is a U visa? And it should, in a few seconds here, kind of explain to you what a U visa is. Again, it may not always be 100% right, but at least it's a start. Especially if you're in a crunch, if Tanya is busting your chops and, you know, asking you, hey, I need you to do this, and you're like, I don't even know what she just told me. Let me just go and ask this ChatGPT real quick. All right, so let's look at some other examples. Sales, right? Like Emily Rose, you know, helps with our blog post and SEO and Facebook. You know, you could ask it to write a catchy and emotional Facebook post about how SLF helps immigrants who are victims of U visa. I use U visa a lot because it's like that just happens to be the one that pops in my head the most. But now Emily Rose has a Facebook post that she can, you know, copy, paste, maybe tweak it a little bit. You know, and I think this is a good example because it takes a little bit of engineering to think through the words in the prompt. If I just said write a Facebook post about U visa, it would write something generic. But if I say, you know, write a catchy, you know, write an emotional, write a thought-provoking, those type of adjectives and descriptive words will adjust the responses you get. You know, so you can see here, the first sentence is, I want to take a moment and talk about something that's very close to my heart. Like that's kind of like an emotional attention getter. If I didn't write a catchier emotional post, it wouldn't have included that. It would have just kind of put something kind of bland out there. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other examples. So what are some things? Oh, translations. That was another one. ChatGPT is fluent in Spanish. So you could also have it translate for you. If I wanted to translate this post to Spanish, I would just say translate to Spanish. If I wanted to be more specific, you know, I could say Latin American Spanish. Paste that previous Facebook post, and there you go. And now you have your Facebook post translated to Spanish. You know, birth certificates, you know, other documents that you have to translate from English to Spanish or vice versa. As long as you can, you know, do text, you know, as long as you can capture the text from that birth certificate, you can put it in here, right? And it's really amazing, like the potential of this system.